Good afternoon, Ian Sauer, Chairman of TasFarmers with your weekly wrap. Well, look, yesterday, diverse week as always, I say that every time. Yesterday we had a member forum at Scottsdale, part of our member engagement, 40 odd people. A great range of topics were discussed at that meeting. Transport was one of those main issues. The other one that came up, of course, was the sale of Rushy Lagoon. Well, today we've had a meeting with one of the buyers of Rushy Lagoon. Look, there's more to come. There's going to be forestry there, there's going to be agriculture, there's going to be a whole range of activities there, and until they're finalised, all the financials, they can't really say anything, but they've given us a clear indication that they will communicate with the community. We also had an Audit and Risk Committee meeting this week, and I can report to you again for the second year in a row the finances are looking good, and that'll all be spelt out very clearly at the annual general meeting. Look, the big ticket item this week is the EPBC Act legislation that came through. We've spoken about this over 12 months and our concerns, not only for agriculture but for the farm forestry industry. So large concerns. Already we've had meetings and discussions with ministers and departmental staff. The issue at the moment is we don't know what's happening. We don't know the legislation. The legislation hasn't been passed, so we can't see the legislation in its total, so nobody knows. But what we do know is that farmers manage 50% of the landscape, and there are going to be significant impacts on the farming community, even though the government say that they want to streamline approvals, which we agree with. Having things centralised in Canberra, we're yet to be convinced, but we will find out what's happening there. Disappointing that all the opposition parties for the last month have spent time tearing themselves apart and not getting involved in this debate with the EPBC Act, and we would like to see a much greater focus from those opposition parties on that. However, we will keep you informed of what's happening, and we will push back if the red tape and the regulation is going to be too high, if there are going to be restrictions on farm forestry, and if buybacks are going to be part of that whole process. Also this week, today, we put the TasFarmers, we put our budget submission into the state government. What I can tell you is, apart from a range of issues, local government reform, etc., GBE reform was high on the agenda. We just think that's really important. And again, we've now had in the last week, TasPorts, a $5 million blowout and a 2-year delay in getting a shiploader done at Bell Bay. It's no wonder when they've got oversight of the lights on King Island and the Harbour Master that things take so long to get done. This has just got to stop, and we need everybody to push and encourage government to have good, solid GB reform. Plenty of wet weather around the state, as you can see behind me. It's raining again, can't get the silage done. But until next week, take care.